Darryl Jones. Now it's time to find out a little bit more about Darryl the man. So, Darryl, let's talk about your upbringing and how you sort of got to where you are.
Okay, how I sort of got where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did uh I did 10 years on active duty in the United States Marine Corps, which really helped to solidify a lot of the person who I am. After that, I went and did 10 years in the private sector, and just like, my service in the Marine Corps, I was able to serve with some outstanding men and women overseas and in some very dangerous and rough areas such as Afghanistan and Iraq, and took on some leadership roles over there. Had the opportunity to create some very strong and solid relationships, and had some very awesome, outstanding experiences as well. Uh, a lot of those experiences that I took to that part of my life were solidified from my childhood, from the days of growing up and growing up poor, growing up without, and so I understood that you have to have compassion for people. I had compassion for the people that were over there, even though I was there to do a mission, to accomplish a mission for the country. So a lot of those experiences, if not all of them, helped to solidify the person that I am today, and also help to mold and shape my perspective on things and people, and be able to have compassion for people from all walks of life. And it doesn't matter what they look like or who they are, but my understanding and what has helped me to become the person I am today is to continue to have passion for people, regardless of their situation or my situation. Compassion is the one thing that connects people in good times and in bad times. So that's really where how I came to be who I am today, in part.
Darryl, Darryl, can you talk a little bit about your experiences overseas? Some things that happened, some things that you saw that stick with you today.
A couple of experiences that I think about often in my days. First experience overseas was in 2005 when I was over in our Mahdi on active duty. There was a young Marine that was under my charge for a short period of time, and we worked together. And I observed him, on a daily basis. And every time I would speak to him, or he would speak to myself and the other staff and COs, it was always very hopeful. And he was always talking about how much he cared for his family and how much he loved his family, his wife and his child, and how much he wanted to get back home to them. So there was never really any negative indicators outside of the fact that we're all here in Iraq, we're all there in Iraq, and I didn't see any negative signs that he was under any mental or emotional duress. So one day, a friend of mine, we were standing out. This was one evening when the war was calm. We were standing outside of one of the unit sections, and all of a sudden, Marines started running from all over the place in various different directions. Coming to find out, this same young Marine had went to the Porter John, put the M16 in his mouth, and pulled the trigger. That experience sticks with me because I feel like if I would have taken a little bit more time to try to see if there was anything or any indicators that I could have dug up or unsurfaced, maybe I would have been able to see his anguish. Maybe I would have been able to change his mind. Maybe I would have been able to save him, at least keep him from committing suicide, get him some help, allow him to move from the place of anguish and despair that he was in to another place. And he had took his life because he was going through some marital stresses, and his wife, same thing that a lot of service members go through. You know, they're out away serving, and their spouse, or because of the disconnection, there's something going on in their relationship, and many people don't see those signs. And that's one that really, really sticks with me. The second one that sticks with me is on January 23rd, 2000, I think it's 2007. My team, this was when I went into the private sector. My team and I were on venue over in Iraq. It was a very dangerous venue. And if anyone has ever seen Black Hawk Down, the day was similar to that. The situation had started to build up. We had went on to venue to do some protective operations, and we had started receiving small arms fire to our location. Long story short, they had to send out multiple teams to come and evac us off of the site. And in that evacuation operation, every major team was out there trying to get to us. Um, we had little birds, which are the small helicopters, up trying to get to us, and everybody was just out doing their job to the best that they could do. And it was a very, very hectic situation. In that evacuation operation, we lost a few men. That stands out to me because those men gave their life trying to come and save me. And the book says that there's no greater love that a man hath than to lay down his life for his friends. And that is a very, very strong thing to grasp when you grasp the concept that someone laid down their life so that you could go on with yours. That's very, very strong. And it takes the ultimate mindset that no matter what, I'm going to go and rescue my friend, my partner, my loved one. And so that day sticks out to me because I'm still here, and those people that are gone are the heroes. And the only thing that I can do is continue to move forward in their names and to press forward and to honor them by doing greater service for the greater good of all mankind, and to walk in my purpose in doing that.
A lot of people come out of the service with a chip on their shoulder, with feeling either depressed, down, or angry. You seem to have gone in the other direction. Is it strictly because of those experiences that you had, or is there a greater power involved in this?
Both. First, I'd have to say is because of my belief in God and His ability to keep me strong through the difficult times in life. And secondly, is those experiences that allow me to solidify the thought process that what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And so if you're still here and you're still breathing and you're above ground, you had a chance to grow. And the environment and the opportunity to grow gives you the chance to become something greater, to move on to a greater place in life. But you have to take on the perception, or the perspective, I'm sorry, that you have that opportunity and you have that capability. And once we do that, once we embrace those processes of growth in hard times, then it's easier to move forward because we'll know that trouble doesn't last always, pain doesn't last always. It only lasts for a short season. But once we overcome that, then those muscles of faith and those muscles of internal and intestinal fortitude are strengthened, and we can go forward. Not only in that particular situation that we may be going through at that time, but if we look forward and know that there's going to be some more bad times, there's going to probably be some more hurdles in life that we have to overcome. And if we can remember that we overcame before, then we know that we can overcome again. So those things that you just asked me, those experiences and my belief in God has helped me solidify that perspective and those thought processes.
I think all of the backstory that you've given us has brought you to a position in the end of helping other people. Do you feel it as a personal mission for yourself?
Definitely, definitely. It is my purpose in life to help people move from one place to the next. As such, the POWER acronym has come into play, and those pillars that I teach from allow myself, not only because it's a continual process, but it also allows other people that I come into contact with for me to give them, the solutions, or to give them those principles and to kind of just build on them in their life so that they can put in place in their life strong solutions so that they don't continuously go through the same process over and over again and then continue to overcome and move forward in life.
Tell us the 5 things that people need to know based on the power principle.
Well, how can I put this very easily? In life, of course, there's going to be obstacles and opportunities to grow. So one thing that we have to continuously keep in mind is that there's a process, the process of overcoming or going through. And it really boils down to 3 simple parts. Resilience, have the ability to be resilient, bounce back. When life presses you, bounce back, don't stay down, get up. So once we learn that we have to be resilient, we can bounce back. Secondly, bring some resolve to the problem. We find out, okay, once we bounce back, what is it that we need to do? We figure out what we need to do, look at our options, figure out the solutions, pick one and move forward with it. Now that we've brought resolve to resilience, now we got to determine which direction we need to go. So once we figure out, okay, I need to go left, right, or through my obstacle, however it may be, you need to move in that direction. Sometimes it's going to be difficult, but we need to move, and that's called re-engage. Re-engage into life, re-engage into however you want to look at it, whether you look at it as a fight, whether you look at it as a game, but just re-engage. Get back into it and begin to move forward. So resilience, resolve, re-engage. The last R in power is one that is extremely important with respect to the entire process, and that's relationships. Without relationships, it is very difficult to move forward in life, because relationships are those things that help us connect with people, people connect with us, and also give us opportunities and choices that we can exploit and begin to move forward. So relationships, how to nurture those relationships, how to build relationships, how to fix relationships that may be bad if they are fixable, and then just equally as important, which relationships to walk away from or which relationships to let fade away. Okay. We don't like to burn bridges in life, but there's some relationships that you may just have to distance yourself from or allow to fade out in your life. But relationships is very, very, very important. And then relationships kind of plays a big part into your environment. If you have a negatively charged environment or a negatively charged relationship, they feed off of one another. So it's very important to either nurture that relationship so that it nurtures the environment, or let it fade away so that you can nurture your environment and create positive relationships to have a positively charged environment. And then the last one, but I talk about it first oftentimes, is purpose. Know your purpose. We have to know our purpose for whatever it is that we're doing in life. And once we know our purpose, it's much easier to move forward. Just like a ship that sets sail, it has already purposed where it's going. A ship that sets sail without a destination is just afloat and is likely to shipwreck somewhere down or somewhere at sea. So when we're in life, we need to understand what is our purpose for doing whatever it is that we're doing, or what is our ultimate purpose. Once we realize our ultimate purpose, it's much easier to move forward and set a course to the destination in which we want to arrive at. Without that purpose, we're just like a ship without a destination.
You've given us a lot to think about today. One last question for you. What about your future? What's the future of your mission?
The future of my mission is simple: to change one person's life at a time, to allow them to take a solution to go from point A to B to C, one step at a time, one solution at a time, as fast as possible and as easy as possible for them. And that is my mission: to touch as many lives, to help as many people, to give as many people the best of me that I possibly can.